Hi, this is Paul Hamilton. This Trike is for sale. I've had a lot of questions on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this thing in detail. First, we're going to look at the design features, then we're going to look at the details. So let's start off and start looking at the design features of this Trike. Okay, now one of the first things you can see here is that notice that the top of the wing does not have any wires or king posts. Whereas the topless here, as you can see, can fit into hangars much easier, and it also flies faster, and it's just an overall more modern design. Now, one of the other advantages of a topless wing like this is you can go ahead and pull all the battens out here, and then you can actually fold the wings back and roll this thing right into a trailer. And so it makes the takedown and transportation of this wing very helpful. Another feature about this particular design is it's got all kinds of room in here. It's very easy to get in and out of. In fact, I actually, for most of my students in the back, I actually put this booster cushion in here, including myself, because there's so much room here, which is very unusual for Trikes. As you can see, it's really easy to get in and out of. You can step on the deck here, get in. Plenty of room here, even with a booster cushion here. And of course, with for some of the bigger people, we don't need the booster cushion, but I can fit almost anybody in here, in the back here, very comfortable. As well as in the front, there's plenty of room up there also. And here we're going to look at the back steering for the instructor. As we notice, these pedals can be moved to any feet length, any leg length for the instructor in the back, or they can be moved forward for getting people in easy, or this can be taken completely off and stored underneath here, which makes it very easy to get people in and out of the back of here. Okay, another feature here is that we've got our ballistic parachute can be reached from the front and from the back, one location here. We've got a cutoff switch for the instructor in the back. We've got a primer here for starting the engine, and we've also got a starter button here in the from the back. So from the back seat, the instructor can hit the kill switch, can start it. So we've got everything somewhat recessed here out of the way. The nice thing about the ballistic parachute being here is it can be reached from the front and the back. Plus, it's not in a place where when people are getting in and out of the Trike, you're going to accidentally pull it. Another safety feature of this particular Trike is it has a ballistic parachute. This is where you pull the handle here, you pull the handle, and this rocket shoots out. It pulls the parachute out, and the line pulls out, and you end up hanging from the very top here. So this is a very safe, structurally stable way to come down if you have to use the ballistic parachute. Let's look at some of the upgrades of this Trike. We can see we've got the strobe position lights, LED strobe, plus our nav lights, all LED. As you can see, we've got the top of the line Tundra tires, aircraft tires here, with disc brakes on all three wheels. And on the right hand side, we've got the throttle for the instructor back here. Can always also hit that as needed. Another nice design feature is having the windshield, having the high windshield on here. Now what that does is for the pilot and the passenger is really in a very nice controlled environment. Now it turns out with the passenger here, that it actually blows over. So there's a nice area in this whole Trike here which is very, very nice and comfortable. You're not getting beaten down by the wind. It's interesting when I look at some of the other trikes I fly with, you can tell who's getting beaten by the wind because all of the bugs on the face shield, okay? And in the back here, there's no bugs on the face shield. It's a nice, very, very calm, relaxing environment. And we can also see our landing light. There's our landing light, and there's our, you can see our pitot tube and landing light. And we're going to take a nice look around here at the details of the trike. Let you look at the whole thing. And we can see for cooling, how the cooling works on this is a water-cooled engine. You've got air that comes in the side here. You've got on both sides. You've also got air that comes in here. And that goes through a nice chamber and through the radiator out here. Very nice setup. Our engine system here. Nice setup. Look at our engine system. And you can see we've also got shoulder restraints for the front and the back, or in the back you can put two on if they feel a little insecure there. Let's look a little bit at the controls here. Okay, now of course this comes with full controls for the front and the back. We can see here trainer bars from the back, and I actually use these for flying from the front quite a bit. It gives you a lot better leverage. You can just push, pull on these things. You can steer it from here. You can move it like this. Okay. Full controls here. Okay. And let's go ahead and take a look at the cockpit. This is set up. I actually modified this panel and expanded it out here. So we've got our master, and then we've got a separate switch for our glass panel, our comm system, our radio, landing light, strobe, nav light, and for each one of these circuits, there's a separate breaker here. Okay, and I've also got a switch for the primary heating system and the auxiliary. We'll go over that here in a little bit. But as you can see, it's got the glass panel here with all the different screens. I've got a video specifically on this panel here. But we've got a nice situation here. What's nice about this is we've got a nice place here for plenty of real estate for an iPad, camera, whatever you want to put down here. We've got a space for a transponder. I've got a timer here. We've got our Enigma, our radio, this is integrated into the Enigma. I've got a video on that. So a very nice cockpit here. Plenty big for anybody can fit in here. Very comfortable, very user-friendly. For the comm system, we've got a push to talk back here for the person in back, who could be the instructor or the passenger. And we've also got another push to talk switch here for the person in front, so that either one of these either push to talk switch here will work and broadcast out. Okay, so let's take a detailed look at the wing here. We can see we've got streamlined down tubes here, streamlined struts, yeah, we're going to look down that whole wing here. Go around our tip. We do have a little camera mount here for a GoPro. And as you can see, we've also got a little camera mount sticking right out here. Looking at the whole wing here. I end up just leaving my tie downs out here. They kind of go back when you're flying. Easy to get to if you get into any kind of wind to hook right onto. And one of the features about this trike that makes it very comfortable from the back seat here is that notice how this mast comes up and then forward. This way, on a lot of trikes, what you get is that this is actually coming up, and you're always hitting yourself on the head, which is really uncomfortable and irritating for anyone who's flying in the back seat. And you can see the design of this is such that that does not happen. Okay, one thing that's pretty nice about this trike also is it's got a nice storage facility. We can look at right under the seat here. We've got a nice area down below here. Plenty of room down here for gloves, a number of things. Right there, easy to get to. Additionally, right underneath here, since we have this nice shelf here, we've got plenty of space all the way under the shelf right here, as you can see. A nice area under here where you can store a lot of stuff, and that's on both sides. So this has quite a bit of storage area on the trike here. And sometimes people wonder where the gas tank is. Well, the gas tank is right under the back seat here. Here's where you fill her up. Okay, now one thing that's nice about these 582s is you've always got a pull start. So no matter what happens to the battery, you can always pull start it. That can come in very handy. Oh, if you leave your switches on, very handy having a nice little pull start here also. And of course, this is a complete system ready to go with the Lynx headsets, which can be worn without the helmets, and of course the helmets. Everything's all set up here with the Lynx system. It's a power interface. You don't really need to charge these hardly at all. Also, I've got we notice I've got wires here. This is actually the heating system. I've got gloves and boots for the back. I've got a plug here for the front person with a seat, or gloves, any combination. I've also got a regulated plug here, which goes to a little regulator here, which allows you to regulate how much, if you want to install some vests, it allows you to turn the power down so you don't draw too much power if you are running vests. It allows you to do that. So there we go. That's the Apollo Monsoon Trike, special light sport aircraft, ready to go for instructors or students or anybody. Hope you like it.